Hallo, Servus Kinder, this is Frau G, and today we're going to be going over our conjugation flip chart mini project. Here are some examples of what it's going to look like when you're done, and I'm going to go over the rubric with you, so hopefully we won't have any confusion. Okay, so you will create a reference flip chart to help you memorize the pronouns and their endings for regular verb conjugation in German. You will focus on the 18 verbs from the regular verb Quizlet set, and it is linked within the rubric, and it also has been shared to our Quizlet classes, and you've also been studying it for the past several weeks. So just so you know what it looks like, it's the Verben, all regular verbs. If you want to spend some time working on memorizing them, playing match and gravity, then you may do that as well. All right, so the directions for this project are as follows. You will start with a regular piece of white paper, or it could also be cardstock, and it may also be colored. Fold it the hamburger way. So what that means is you will take the piece of paper and you are folding it this way, right? So the goal is that you get this shape when you fold it. That is not the long way. That's hot dog. We're talking hamburger for the first fold, okay? Then you are going to fold the sides of the paper to meet it in the middle, okay? And that's how you will get these French doors, essentially. So first fold is folding the paper in half hamburger way. Then you fold the sides in to meet in the middle, okay? You then are going to cut slits only halfway so that you get these little doors, okay? You want to be very careful to not cut all the way, or basically then you're going to cut 4 strips of paper. So be very, very careful that when you cut, you are just cutting to the halfway point here, okay? And like I keep repeating, the paper will look like a mini version of French doors, and you want to be able to like open and close each of these 8 things individually. We do highly recommend that you use a ruler so that it's 4 equal parts, okay? And then there is a checklist as part of this rubric, okay? So the front part is going to have the pronouns written down, right? And you are going to write ich, du, er, sie, es, and sie on one side, and then wir, ihr, sie on the other side, all right? So that is step 1, that you have those pronouns written down, and I'm going to show you an example, nice and up close again. You'll fill in all 8 boxes. And you might be wondering, Frau, how come the bottom has 2 C's? Well, remember, the formal you is both singular and plural. So it has to be on the singular side as well as the plural side, all right? The next step is that when you open the flap, you're going to write the ending that matches that pronoun, right? So for ich, you'll have I. For wir, you'll have en, right? For du, st, er, sie, st, etc., etc., okay? And the third thing you want to make sure to do is that on the back, matching, you write first for first person, right? Because ich and wir, those are both first person. And then you've got du and ihr, those are both second person. Er, sie, es, and sie, that's third. And of course, the capital C, that is formal. So you're going to write first, second, third, and formal. And then this is the part that has a little bit more meat to it, okay? On the back of the flaps for each pronoun, okay, you are going to write sentence examples. And basically what it's going to look like is you have the pronoun here, ich. On the inside here, you'll have e. And here you're going to write 3 examples of conjugating the regular verbs for ich, as well as a sentence, right? So the example here says, gehe, spiele, besuche, ich gehe zur Schule, okay? So you want to make sure you have all 4 of these items on this side of the flap. So 3 examples of 3 different verbs being conjugated, as well as a sentence. Okay, it is very important that you are reading the rubric and realize that all 18 verbs have to appear on the project in some way. So I would recommend that you kind of go through and check off all 18 of them before you circle back. And you do not have to use the same verb that you see up here, like this, it does not have to be used in the sentence. It can be 4 different verbs on one flap, okay? I have a few more examples here that I will share. You can get very creative in how you illustrate your pronouns and how you complete these projects. But again, you want to make sure that you are following the directions where we are checking for the pronoun on the front, the ending in the middle part, and then those verbs and sentences. This here, for example, was not done correctly because we want to make sure that we have all 3 verbs and a sentence for each pronoun. So this one only has the 3 verbs on this side and only the sentence on this side. And we need all 4 pieces for each pronoun to get full credit. So just again, make sure that you are following those directions and that you are writing the 3 examples as well as the sentence. Of course, if you are really into art and want to throw in some super creative backgrounds, we encourage that. So here you have an example of that as well. We want you to enjoy this. We want you to have fun with it. And you can use those bubble letter techniques that you've learned in art. The biggest thing is, of course, that we encourage you to not have any white space. And we want to make sure that we are coloring it all in. So here again is a perfect example of the pronoun, the ending, the 3 conjugated verbs, as well as a sentence. So, gehe, spiele, besuche, ich spiele Tennis. Okay? And then on the back, the student has written first, second, and third person, right? And so we just highly recommend that you make sure to make it very obvious, of course, that all of the pronouns are lowercase when they're up top right here for first, second, and third person, and make sure that it is obvious that the C and C at the bottom, the formal C's, are capitalized. Make sure that you use your Deutsch Heft to reference your notes. Make sure that you use your Deutsch Heft to write your sentences. If you are working on this and you would like to email some sentences or check with Frau V or Frau G, I recommend that you send an email. We are here to help you, and we are excited to see your projects. Of course, since we are virtual this year, the way that you will turn in this assignment is by taking pictures of the front, the back, and then making sure that you take a picture where all of the flaps are open so we can see the work that you did on the inside. So you will be submitting to Google Classroom 3 pictures of your final product, and we do want to make sure that every student completes this in person with their hands, with their colored pencils and their markers, because this is going to be an excellent tool for you to use to study for your unit test, which is coming up in just a couple weeks. So viel Glück und viel Spaß, Kinder. Once again, if you have questions, make sure to email. And bis später. Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen.